Tension is mounting over the World Cup. The last time in 1994 you got to the last 16, that was your best ever. Where will you finish in 2018?
I hope that we achieve positive results and play with heart for our team and our nation, God willing.
Just for the record, what will the score be against Russia in the opening game?
I hope 2-0.
Let us talk about sport and Saudi Arabia. Nelson Mandela in 1995 made the world focus on South Africa when he used the Rugby World Cup in an incredibly important way. Is that your ambition as the Minister for Sport for Saudi Arabia?
أنا صغير أمام نيلسون مانديلا.
I'm small beside Nelson Mandela. This is a great personality. I hope that I put my country on the map that suits its standing in soccer and other sports, God willing.
Economic advancement as well. Sport equals dollars. This is about getting Saudi Arabians to stay in Saudi Arabia and attend these fantastic spectacles of sport. It's about dollars.
This is correct. We have a people that are thirsty and attend these events abroad often. Now, thanks to God and our wise leadership, they've gotten this chance inside their country, so of course there will be a great economic impact.
In 2016, big target. 40,000 jobs could be created. Is the target still good?
Of course.
No adjustment. When over the next 5 years for 40,000?
In the Sports Authority, we've achieved the numbers asked of us in 2020 already now, a year and a half before our determined date. God willing, this is a sign that the vision of the Crown Prince is heading in the right direction.
Let's talk about women in sport. You've opened gyms. You've done many good things to bring women into sport. Yet, there has been controversy. You've closed a gym, you've asked an instructor to leave the country because of some of the imagery that was used in promoting that gym. What is the red line for you, Your Excellency, in sport and women in sport?
As it relates to women, in the current period, the season that passed, they were permitted to enter 3 stadiums. The coming season, they will enter all of the stadiums in the Kingdom. All of the events that the Kingdom carries out now allow women to enter. We're approaching women driving. Women have gotten a lot of their rights in this period and this bright era. We just don't want to give an excuse to those that want to take us backwards and delay us in the issue. We're protecting our customs and traditions and our religion before everything.
Tradition and norms, absolutely. But global investors have told us what you do with women, what you do with women driving in sport is incredibly important and powerful. How soon is your ambition to have women in all venues of their choice?
The space for freedom and the capability of women is very large in our society now. On the contrary, I see her as an important partner for the man in our society. You tell me, what are women lacking now in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
The world is changing and there are many opportunities, Your Excellency. I respect that. Let's talk about your ministry, the Sports Authority. Privatisation, I understand, is one of your big ambitions. Explain that to me. Is that selling clubs to Abramovich, or is that making soccer just more efficient?
We know our limits. Abramovich is something big, if we're in the current period. But we know that we want to be among the 10 best leagues in soccer in the world and create fertile ground for privatisation and develop soccer more, because it's the first sport of the people that we have in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It lacks, to some extent, support, organisation and oversight. And now, it's gotten that recently, especially with the support of the Crown Prince that spread across the whole world.
It's Bloomberg. What is your ambition in terms of privatisation? $1 billion? $2 billion? $5 billion? What do you want to tell the...
In principle, because we're realistic in the current circumstances. You have to know that there are some clubs that have lands belonging to the state that they use. They have a very high value in Mecca and in Riyadh. But if we talk in general, other than the real estate that's owned by the state, ranging from $800 to $1.5 billion, that's our ambition. I think this is the amount that we can get, 16 teams.
And if Abramovich calls, will you encourage him to come to Saudi?
If it was according to the conditions and regulations, he's welcome, him and others.
Good. In terms of the next big piece for sport, do you bring Do you replicate what Japan and China have done? Gary Lineker coming to Japan, other players coming to China. Is that part of your vision?
You're reading my mind. We have the greatest agencies in the world in this hotel, and the heads of Saudi teams closing deals on the highest level. The league in the coming year will be the League of Stars. It will attract stars from all around the world.
You talk about closing deals. What kind of deals might you close here in Switzerland?
Some of the heads of clubs here are closing deals, and I'm helping them.
You're helping them. How are you helping them?
With advice and making available certain financial resources.
How much financial resources might you help with here today?
There is an amount set aside for all of the clubs to attract stars. But we suffered in the previous period from the presence of a type of corruption in some of the deals and in personal benefits from some of the players' agencies. So we're eager to be on the highest level with international players' agencies that the authority supervises to get the best standards in the Saudi league.
We understand